Before the 9/11 attack in Libya that killed a U.S. ambassador and 3 other Americans, there were security concerns surrounding the diplomatic mission in Benghazi. The White House first called the attack spontaneous, the one in Benghazi that killed the ambassador, but now says it was pre-planned by terrorists linked to al-Qaeda. The Republican chair of the House Intelligence Committee, Mike Rogers, says it's clear key information was left out.
It is very clear to me that there was they picked pieces of information for convenience sake that fit a narrative that they believed. I don't want to question their motive of what they thought they were doing. I don't know if it was political or not. I don't have any information so it was political or not. It was clearly done. Right. And I argue, and I know other committees are going back to look at to see if Congress was deliberately misled, which would be a violation of the law.
I'm joined now by our Pentagon correspondent, Barbara Starr. And Barbara, I know you've been digging into this for new information. You say as early as April, the United States sent special forces into Benghazi for a specific reason.
They did indeed, Carol. What we've learned is that a very small team of Special Forces commandos were sent to that Benghazi compound. This was back in April. If you think back, a United Nations convoy in the region had been attacked. There were growing security concerns at that time back in April about what was going on in that region of eastern Libya. So the U.S. sent a team of about 4 Special Forces commandos to the Benghazi compound. They did a security assessment. What could be done to improve security at the facility? And they recommended, apparently, we are told, a couple of things that seem fairly minor in retrospect. Sandbagging some positions so Libyan forces who were there, contractors essentially, could help fight back if the place came under attack. And also more training for some of that private security force that was hired for the consulate compound. No word on how much of this was implemented and whether there were additional security recommendations beyond that. But it really goes to the point that as far back as April, there were growing security concerns there, something the ambassador would have been well aware of, as the militias in eastern Libya appeared to be gaining strength and coalescing, according to the intelligence coming in at the time.
So here's the question, Barbara. Was there ever any discussion of sending troops back to secure the site?
This has been the question on the table. After the attack, when you see the pictures that the site had been trashed, possibly classified information left behind, and a real need to guard the facility for potential law enforcement reasons. If the FBI was to come in, it's a crime scene, and yet people are able to walk around. What we are told is there was never a serious request for military help, because if you think about it, Carol, this was essentially now hostile territory. Insurgents with rocket-propelled grenade launchers, shoulder-fired weapons. You would have to send a pretty heavy military footprint of people and equipment and supplies and have the Libyan government's permission to do all that in order to put the military there to secure the site. So that was not a serious consideration, we're told.
Barbara Starr, live at the Pentagon this morning.